So, welcome everyone to week one of the F1 2020 No Assist tier. You're joined by myself, Stuart, and today, who is now my co-host, and I'm the host, is Rigby. Hello, Rigby.
Hello, how are we doing, Stuart?
Doing really good, doing really good. So, it's on the other foot now. I'm in charge.
Oh God, you're in charge. This is where this is when everyone will find out why this does not normally happen.
uh,
No, it's great to be here. It's great to be here.
Good, glad to have you along. So last week we had our practice session going around Silverstone, and today we are at week one, and we are joined in qualifying going around China, which is the race this week for all tiers. Now, having done a practice of this race, it will be tricky, and no doubt tricky for these guys doing it with no assists as well. What I want to do is just kind of analyze this track a wee bit with you, Rigby, see where we may find some iffy moments, if you like.
Yeah, yeah.
So obviously we've got turn one going into turn two. That is going to be, I have no doubt about it, that whole S section to be an issue for these guys, and obviously have to be well on it. As I'm just going to jump on Go of Anxiety just so you can kind of see what we're talking about here, guys. So we've got Yari and Go of Anxiety leading us out, with Witch just heading up behind. Now, this whole section here, guys, is probably going to be one of the most difficult of the sections. You've then got quite a lot of long sweeping bends, which again, if you're putting too much power down, you are probably going to lose it, as we saw going around Silverstone. It is pretty easy to lose these cars with no assists, no stability control of any kind to help you out. Obviously, you've got the main straight at Sector 3. Again, get that DRS opened wide up, going down into the final two corners. Now, one to watch out that I've found on China, Rigby, is the final corner itself. How easy is it to lose it there if you just basically take that corner just a little bit too much on cutting the corner, if you like.
Well, in any track, you're always looking to push the track limits as much as possible. But yeah, that one's going to be one where you need to be careful not to push it too hard, or instead of gaining a little bit of time, you might even spin your car out. So yeah, I think you're right. It's going to be very difficult, but but it's important to not lose speed down there as well. Obviously, if you go too slow, then you could be an easy target for that DRS zone on the start-finish straight.
Yeah, 100%. And we're going to stay on board Yari for this one. Now he's about to go and set his first lap. And it's interesting to watch these guys, obviously being Tier 1 drivers and more experienced, or they've got more of an edge on the game as to what kind of lines they take to maximise time. And also obviously try and utilise the best out of their tyres as well. So we're going to be focusing on, you know, the two drivers we quite often focus on, which is Too Late Mate and Yari here, just to see what kind of competitive edge we can get here. So obviously Yari downshifting to try and keep the traction, and then downshifting even more just to get the car to roll in, short shifting up into 5th, going back down the sector 2 straight, locking up a little bit.
No, obviously we've taken the assist off everyone, so you would imagine that the F1 and F2 boys are this won't be too much of a difference for them. But I'm looking down the field, there's a couple of F3 and F4 lads who, I'm not saying won't race without, don't race with full assist on, but it's going to be a completely different experience racing against these fast guys.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Without the comfort of the assists on.
Yeah. Yari obviously not happy with that lap, coming straight back in.
Well, I'm on board with the Goat of Anxiety, who's just about to come round the final corner.
So what kind of benchmark will he be setting? A 132.1. So not...
He went wide on a few corners, to be fair. It's not the best. He can definitely... That is the benchmark, I should say.
Now, looking at like so the practice race we had yesterday, just to kind of see, obviously to get used to the track, the sort of benchmark that we had yesterday getting set was a 129. So hopefully the drivers can get somewhat close to that. And Carcraft setting the new benchmark, setting himself in pole position of a 130.4. That is a really good lap from Carcraft. There's too late, mate.
Does that.
Taking a few thousandth off that time with a 130.42 compared to Carcraft's 130.47. So yeah, very nice times getting set by these guys on what I would consider quite a difficult track.
Do you know what? Sure, I've watched a few people now. There is one corner that everybody is messing up, and it is the second to last corner. After that long straight, they're just not able to slow the car down fast enough, or maybe because they don't have their assists on. They are struggling, as Lunar Jedi puts it, into the wall almost.
Yeah.
A lot of drivers are struggling, and they've gone very, very wide. That's cost them a lot of time.
Yeah, just putting so much power down going through that DRS zone, and then misjudging that braking distance perhaps right at the end. We've got Einar and Learning to Wheel kind of close together here. My apologies, Learning to Wheel just finished his Sector 1 with a purple Sector 1. Einar just coming down onto the DRS zone of Sector 3, so let's have a wee jump on him. Going at 110 into the DRS zone. So I kind of want to see what kind of markers I can set.
This corner as well.
So yeah, going really hard into there. So you can see just with no braking assist, it just you have to brake so much earlier, and then again going real wide into that last corner, and I gamed it in PLS, and with a 130.3, so that puts him at 7th. Nice comfortable middle of the table so far. Let's go back to Learning to Wheel, who's onto the DRS zone again. Going down Sector 3 in a kind of similar time to Einar hitting the DRS. He brakes early enough and gets the apex on that hairpin bend. Now coming down to the last corner. Turns the... No, and he's not happy with that lap. Straight back in. Straight back in, get himself some fresh tyres.
They always do that to the commentators. You think, oh, they're going to do a lap, and then they just jump straight into the pits. And again, Squid also going very wide in that second to last corner. There's been quite a few, even after I've said that just haven't learnt it. But
yeah,
the Dark there who we were just watching was decided just to go very slow down there, and maybe that is the way to go. You might as well get yourself on the track and lose a little bit of time than constantly be going wide.
Now, interestingly enough, we've got three guys just heading on their out laps and now starting laps. We've got Yari and Sylvanik just started their lap on the medium tyre, and Harry Cully on his out lap on the medium tyre. So, again, something interesting to see what kind of times they can be setting on the mediums. Getting himself a purple Sector 1 even on the medium tyre. So, as long as they can keep this pace up, we're looking at perhaps even a 130, a 129 time here.
Is this Yari and Harry potentially looking at the rest of the times and going, I can get in the top 10 with these mediums, no problem at all, and I'll start on the worst tyre and then be on the softs towards the end of the race potentially?
Well, from practice 2 race yesterday, and racing myself on it, I'm a bit hesitant on what strategies to go for, because you've got the option of going for the 2-stop on... If you're starting on the soft, you can go for the mediums on lap 6, and then swap for the mediums again on around lap 14 to 16, something like that. I think maybe even a wee bit later than that, actually. But that's one of the options that you have, or, again, as you mentioned, you can be starting on the medium tyre, and Yari not bettering his time. He's actually 0.001 off of his best time so far, which placed him in 4th, and Sylvanik does manage to get himself a wee bit further up the table to 8th position with a 132.991. So, again, not a huge amount to separate these drivers. However, it's still fantastic time to be sitting on the medium tyre, and even Too Late Mate has taken up the offer of a medium tyre as well. He's looking like to be coming out the pitch right now and setting his out lap. But yeah, back to the strategies. Now, what would be your take on the strategies then, Rigby, for even likes of your race? Obviously, you don't want to be giving too much away to everyone out there as to what your strategy might be, but for these guys on no assist, what would you be saying to them? What kind of strategy you think would be the one to take?
Well, what I can say is from watching these guys is the tyre wear is going to be really bad, because it's gonna be a lot harder to conserve your tyres without certain assists, or maybe you won't drive as comfortably as you normally would do. So I think eh, it's interesting because obviously safety cars can change it and whatnot. But maybe if you can start on those mediums, as I can see quite a few people are now opting to jump on mediums to qualify on there, and then potentially another 2 stops to switch to softs potentially could be the quickest strategy. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Again,
Or is it maybe a medium, soft to medium, maybe?
I was kind of thinking that actually, or do you think? I mean, I'm trying to remember how many laps it is. I think it's 36 laps on this track for a 50% race for the likes of our league here, and I'm very much thinking you could probably do a 1-stop, but the issue you've got there is you could probably go from the mediums to the hards. Go on the mediums for such a long period of time, then switch to the hards maybe. I don't know.
Depends if the hard tires is going to be quick enough though.
Yeah, that's the issue. But again, you could also get the undercut put in.
Yeah.
Carcraft getting the 130.067, and I'm on NBD Visions with a 130.174. He just cut out a bit from the wall, and he may have lost a tenth or two there. Going to that outside line.
With my boy Vico from Tier 4. He does a 134.8. Not too bad.
Not bad at all from Vico.
He definitely go quicker. But no surprise to see the Formula 1 boys dominating towards the top of qualifying so far.
Oh yeah. Now, here on the live stream, we're going to stay with Lunar Jedi coming down Sector 3, and I'm trying to set a sort of benchmark for these guys as to a sort of time trap, if you like, as to where they're coming through. And he comes over the DRS zone at 110, which was kind of on par with Too Late Mate, but he does take that final second to last corner too wide, so that's going to cost him a lot of time, as he's already at 128.9, he's already at 30 going around the last corner, so he's lost a lot of time there and doesn't better it. He's at 133.1. So you can see precision is everything with this tier.
Well, yeah, you're mixing fast drivers and what, you know, you're bringing all the tiers together, and then not only that, you're taking off the assist we mentioned before.
Yeah.
It's going to bring some exciting racing as A9 needs to get out of Penna's way as he comes onto on the straight on the sector 3. Currently in P7 is the Williams of Penna.
Currently 2/10 up on his sector 2, and does get the apex there on the second to last corner. Gets the power down, right up those gears. Gets the apex on that one. Doesn't cut it too much. Gets a really nice line in there.
That was a good final corner from
Fantastic
Penna.
lap from Penna, straight up to P5 with a 131.8. So a really good time from him.
Good to see a couple of the F2 boys, Lunar Jedi and Penna, just taking it to the F1 boys just a little bit here. You know, you can't. Oh, and it's dark as spun and hit the barrier. Check your message, shirt, by the way. The Packway comes across the line, and F4 De Packway gets into P8. Very nice lap from De Packway. That's just sorting some audio issues potentially.
That should be better for everyone. Sorry, guys. We don't need to listen to Rigby. It's okay.
I wouldn't blame you, bro.
Right, okay, back to these racers at hand. Go of Anxiety on his out lap. We've also got Vico out on track as well, just trying to creep his way around the track and keep these tires on as low wear as possible, just to maximize advantages.
I'm on board with Harry Cully's shirt. He's just coming to the straight's coming to the second to last corner. Let's see if he's gonna get it right.
I tell you what, this is looking good. As long as they can get this apex here, this time's looking really good.
That wasn't bad at all. That from Harry.
This time's looking really good, Harry. Let's go. Let's get the DRS opened up and over the line in 130.6 and into fourth. That was looking really good from Harry Cully there. Again, as I mentioned, as long as these drivers can keep the pace and obviously keep on top of these cars, you even take 1 ounce of concentration away from these cars, and again, you're going to be in the wall. So Harry Cully very happy with his lap with only 2.5 minutes to go in qualifying today. Will retire in P4, but can he hold on to it? That's the question. There's a second between him and 5th. So hopefully he can hold on to that. Go Anxiety with 4/10 up on his sector 2. Not looking good from him to begin with. Not sure if he can bring this one back. So Carcraft also looking like he's on a fast lap, trying to better his times. Already on pole position with a 1:30.067 and a very respectable fast time from him. And it's interesting to see this Sector 2 S-Bends. Just if you can't hold the apex, and again, it's going to be difficult for these guys with no assist, just to try and hold the apex on each of these corners. And he betters the Sector 2 already. Short shifting, trying to hold traction. Wee bit squiggly going round into the start of Sector 3 on the long straight to the DRS zone. So...
oh, because had to validate his lap because I think it was Lunar Jedi that was on his inside. He got out of the way a little bit, but it just put Vico off and he's had to cut the corner into validate his lap, unfortunately. I think he will have time to go again, but very frustrating for the Alpha.
Definitely. Now, can these drivers better their laps?
Yari's spun, by the way. Yari's spun.
Oh no, Yari. I can't find you.
One of the favourites. Yari has spun. He might have damaged. That might be the end of his qualifying as well. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, he's got 35 seconds left to get himself back to the start-finish, and that he may just take this. Yeah, he does retire from the session. He is willing to accept 7th. However, if Lunar Jedi can say something about that as he's in the last corner and about to go into his fast lap, let's see if he can say something about that. So we will return to Lunar Jedi just shortly, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see...
I'm on board with his teammate, and the division probably one of the very few people that can take that pole position off Carcraft, who of course has retired from qualifying now, so he's not going to go any quicker, and it's so tight already between those two.
And I tell you what, Einar says, Lunar Jedi, I'm coming through, and he does take 8th position, so Lunar Jedi is going to have to try and get this position back. We've also got Dark RT coming round onto the final corner. Can he better his time?
It's looking good from Vision. This is looking good. It's been a good first opening 2 sectors.
And Dark RT doesn't quite better his time. We've also got Noof Squid just coming around Sector 2, so we will jump back on Visions and rejoin Noof Squid as he approaches the end.
Oh, very nice from Vision. That second last corner was fantastic.
Very nice. He knows he's on a good one.
The final corner. Can he get this right?
He gets it really good. He knows he's on a good one. It's a 129. It's a 129.983. Fantastic time from MBD Visions. We're very familiar.
The final corner as well of the Williams. Oh, he validated his lap right at the end. That would have got him. That would have not. He wouldn't have gone any quicker, so it's all good.
Now, Lunar Jedi is 6/10 up on his time and a 1:31 Ooh, 132.095. So he does retake 8th position ahead of Einar. So very nice from him. Noob Squid round the end out of what looks like he may have been out of fuel with 1/10
Yeah.
up. So that's a shame from him. So that's the end of qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. There is your board for the start of this race. So up at top, we have MBD Visions and Carcraft. Coming in behind them, we have Too Late Mate and Harry Cully. And then we have Goat of Anxiety and Pina. And behind them, we've got Yari and Lunar Jedi. 9th and 10th, we have Einar and Depakwe. 11th and 12th, Sylvanic and Dark RT. Coming down towards the end of the grid, we've got Noob Squid and Wit J. We've also got Learning the Wheel and Vico coming down the back with no times on the board. Favourites?
Well, it's it's hard to not. You say it every time you watch them race, but the two badges of Too Late Mate and Vision are always up there. Very good qualifying from Carcraft as well. Got him into P2. Yari surprised me a little bit. I didn't think he would struggle as much as that.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Hopefully he'll have a better race than his qualifying.
Yeah.
But I was very impressed as well with the a couple of the F2 boys. Well, I thought Lunar Jedi put in a good performance as well. Salvanich wasn't too bad. Harry Colley for F1 had a good one as well. The Packway of F4 as well. You know, this race could have a dark horse in it for sure. But I'm going to have to be boring and say that I think it's going to be between the current top three for the win.
Okay. I mean, Yari looks like this week he's not quite on it, in my opinion. I mean, last week watching him at Silverstone, he put in some fight, and unfortunately towards the end of that race he did lose it. Just on the traction again to the restart of a safety car. So hopefully this week, if we do see a safety car, we don't have that again from Yari. Again, formation lap time. And time for these guys to get their tyres warmed up. It's a 28 lapper for China on the 50% session. So, now that you've seen how many laps and I'm now corrected, what would be your strategy here, for these guys, Rigby?
The majority of the top 10 are starting on the softs. Yari managed to qualify on the medium, so I think it will be a case of stretch the mediums to about, I don't know, maybe 12, 13, maybe that's a bit too long, and then getting on softs twice. Maybe that one stop could be medium to hard. You can see here, the one stop is soft to hard, or it's soft, then medium again. So it'll be interesting to medium soft will be too difficult to accomplish.
No, I don't think so. And again, having that soft tire advantage in the middle of the race is definitely going to allow you to start getting caught up to some people. Again, it's a very long pit lane for China. It is a very long pit lane for China, and again, that can also ruin your race if you have to pit for whatever reason other than a tire change. So if you have a damage to your front wing and you have to be in there for an extra 5 seconds, that's going to cost everything for maybe even like 3-4 places on your leaderboard. Obviously your top 6 there, all starting on the softs as Rigby mentioned. Yari starting on the mediums, and then the next 3 on the softs. Bottom of the table all opting for the mediums since they get to choose their tire. I'm kind of in agreement with you, Rigby, in terms of the mediums, softs. Again, I think you could pull out a one-stop with the mediums.
It'll be very, very tricky, in my opinion.
As long as I think if you can maintain tire wear, you can potentially pull out a one-stop, and I think these guys could be good enough to do that.
I just can't see this race going through without a safety car or a couple. I think the amount of differences that are in here could prove a huge factor in some of the incidents that are going to occur in this race. And turn one, they've got to be so careful because you're going to have to remember you haven't got your assist, as we've mentioned many times. You've got to brake earlier than you normally would, and watch out for cars that are around you. Just take it easy in turn one.
100%. And We are looking for the lights now as all the drivers line up on the grid. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we are off. Really good start from the front two of MBD Visions and Carcraft, looking to try and maximize their already advantage against Too Late Mate. Go of Anxiety, going further down the field, going into turn 1, see what kind of actions we can have, and we've got a Red Bull off. We've also got a Ferrari by the looks of things of Einar dropping down to 13th when he had already secured that 8th position, so that's a really big blow from him. Too Late Mate also dropping down to 8th and now into 9th, and we've got a bit of contact from these guys down in the middle of the table between Pina and Learning the Wheel.
Sure, it was two different instances that was at the back. The Red Bull, I believe, just didn't have really anywhere to go. And then the pack we just got, I can't remember, I don't know who it was, but he got just a little tap and it was enough to spin them both out. I don't think any of them got damaged though.
Good reporting from Rigby there. Just they obviously have two eyes on everyone. It looked to be Sylvanic dropping himself down to 16th as one of the Red Bulls potentially, as one of the victims earlier on in that earlier incident. So from the look of things, the grid hasn't changed too much, although we do have Too Late Mate now dropping down to the middle of the table, and he'll be looking to try and get that position back. Hopefully his tyres haven't worn too much. We'll get Go of Anxiety trying to keep that 3rd position ahead of Harry Cully, and now look to catch up to Carcraft. And once our board does correct itself, we'll be able to give you more updated information. We've also got, by the looks of things, Vico. I'm not too sure what happened with Vico, but we have got a safety car already in lap 3, ladies and gentlemen. So that has just brought everyone back together. If you have damage, you'll be looking to go into the pits now. We've got Einar heading back out of the pits, and obviously he'll be able to get caught back up to everyone now with a nice fresh car on those fresh mediums. So he's opting to stay on the medium tyre as it stands right now. He's not opting to change his compound. He's quite happy with it. Sylvanic.
Sure. Is it too early to jump onto hards and then maybe just do one more stop to go on to softs towards the end of the race? What do you think?
I think it's too early because, I mean, excuse me. I mean, excuse me. I mean, even towards the race strategy, it recommends a pit stop on lap 6 or 7. So I still think a little bit too early for the hards. However, again, you could reverse that. You could go for the hards for all that length of time and then swap it onto the softs towards the end. We've got the Packway opting to allow Sylvanic that 13th position. I'm not sure if he's maybe allowing him that position. If there's, I don't know what's going on here between these two guys. I think maybe the Packway just stopped for a second, but he's reclaimed his 13th position back. So the drivers all looking to keep themselves together here.
They are jumping into the pits.
They are indeed.
Let's have a look what they're going to jump onto.
As we are still waiting on A&R to catch the rest of the guys. So, hard tyres coming out already from Carcraft. Harry Cully, both opting for this hard compound.
Govern's actually onto mediums along with Vision. And Yari and Einar doing the same, along with Too Late Mate and Lunar Jedi. So only 3 drivers jump onto hards. The rest jumping onto mediums and going to stick to that 2-stop strategy potentially.
Now, the top of the board opting to stay out on their 2-lap-old tyres from Sylvanic to Learn the Wheel on the mediums. The only one there on the soft still is the Packway. So, do you think the Packway is looking to try and get himself as far up the table as he can at the restart and before he's maybe thinking about that pit stop? Now, now that A&R has caught the rest of the field, hopefully we'll see the safety car dip into the pits this lap round. A&R just taking his time and trying to maintain the tyre wear the best he can, not pushing the car to catch up to these guys. He really is taking his time here, as you would. Now, not sure what's happened to Go of Anxiety here, but he spun his car and that sees him down to the bottom of the table.
I wasn't too sure. I didn't see that myself, Stuart. But yeah, that's not ideal at all from him. The only good thing is that he can literally just get right to the very back, and maybe gain a few places from the restart. Who knows?
Now, it looks like he doesn't have any damage, which is good news for him.
It's
However,
gonna be another lap of safety car driving.
it is indeed. So, would Go of Anxiety take advantage of this if he has any damage? I would like to think so. We'll see what he does. So, no damage it looks like from Go of Anxiety, which is always a good sign. He can stay out and keep himself going. We've got Learning the Wheel going to be getting us to the restart. Behind him, Dark RT and Witj. Behind him, Noof Squid. So, these front four looking to get right back into the battle. But they were going to have to watch out for the Packway and those soft tires on that faster compound. But, however, as the race strategy has shown us, although the safety car is out, he's potentially only got another 3 to 4 laps of pushing these tires to the limit.
I don't think that is the smartest move into Packway. I can see the thinking, but you have to take advantage of how slow all these cars are at the moment. It's a free pit stop. It's a chance to eliminate the time you would have lost on your first pit stop. And as you say, he's going to have to come in another 3 or 4 laps. There's no way he's going to be able to build up enough of an advantage to stop him going to the back of the grid. So it's a bit of a risky one in my opinion, and one I don't think is going to work out unless we get another safety car in the next lap or two when we get going again.
I think we're going to see another safety car this race. Again, the no assist here is so unforgiving with these cars, although these cars are so much more aerodynamic. Race Control has just communicated to us that we have the safety car going in this lap, and we will see a restart, and Learning the Wheel will be taking us away on the start of this. So, interesting to see, and I hope people don't just go dive bombing into this first corner again. I want to see a nice clean restart from these guys. Especially since we had...
something. That pit stop in the Wheel, Dark and Witchy have all had unbelievable starts. All starts outside the top 10 and are now in the top 3.
Yeah.
Obviously haven't pitted, but
to be fair,
on medium tires. They should be able to stretch that out enough.
Exactly, and we've already had 2 laps of safety car where they've been able to, you know, slow the cars right down. And Dark RT and Learning the Wheel just holding everyone up. And Witj going into the back of Dark RT will be presented with a 5-second penalty. And Learning the Wheel, foot to the floor, and we are away again. Witj looking to get a move done before the first corner rising. He's going to get that done, but it looks like things...
spin out. It's the Packway. The Packway spun out at the back.
That's unfortunate for the Packway, but again, those 4-lap old softs, even with a safety car, will be coming to the end. And Witj did manage to get the move back from Dark RT, and it's presented Dark RT with a penalty, so I'm not too sure what happened between these two guys. Let's have a look further down the field, and we've got a few jostling down here between New Squid, MED Vision, Sylvanic, Carcraft, all looking to get a move done here.
Harry Colley looking at too late, mate, at the moment. Meanwhile, Carcraft just up ahead as well as after Salvanich.
And here comes the New Squid and
Sylvanich.
We've got Carcraft coming right in behind Sylvanich, and he goes right into the back, and too late, mate, into the back as well.
Did Carcraft get a little nudge off too late, mate, there? Because if he did, it's going to knock-on effect, because he then went into the back of Salvanich.
And there goes the Mercedes of Lunar Jedi! right before the straight, and that sees him down to the back of the pack as well. No damage on his car, but those tyres are going to be red hot.
Too Late Mate going on the inside into the second to last corner of the racing point of Carcraft, and he looks like he's got the move done. Too Late Mate is up into P6. Very nice move from him.
Learning the wheel, also getting the fastest lap in with the 136. That will be beaten later on, I think, and the one-stop strategy pit window has officially opened for some drivers. I think we'll see the likes of Sylvanich learning the wheel, Whitjay maybe perhaps wanting to take advantage of that on the 5-lap holes, but I don't think so since we had the safety car. I think we might see them out for a bit longer. Down the back of the pack.
Yari's going to get past Harry Colley here to take P8.
Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah, good move. Nothing Harry could do there. Harry's on the hard side, Yari's on mediums. Nothing Harry could do is a sit and duck. His strategy is to wait it out and potentially do one less pit stop than Yari will have to do.
Go of Anxiety also maximising his potential, managing to get himself ahead of Pina, who's on the hards, on the S's. Now looking to get it back to New Squid, but he does go wide on that corner on the left-hander. Back onto the track again ahead of Pina. Einar.
Ooh, Carcraft did not stop then at all.
And a dangerous re-entry back to the track.
Squid. I think it's Squiddy's hit. Is it?
New Squid managing to keep himself on track.
That was he completely didn't brake at all. He completely missed it, and then, as you say, very dangerous from Carcraft, and there was only one outcome. That was dangerous.
So, going to jump on board Sylvanich, looking to try and get back caught up to Too Late Mate, who does set the fastest lap with 135.1, so you can tell he is on the pace. Pina getting a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings, I would imagine, for cutting the track. It's just so unforgiving, this track, for how the restrictions work.
Oh my word, into turn 1, going on the inside of,
New Squid.
Was it Squid? And he completely knocked him off the track. Squid's managed to hold on to position. He's actually lagging everywhere, but the Go of Anxiety just charging him out the way there. That was naughty. Dark
RT has spun it out. He's now dropped himself down to P13. Very unfortunate for him. Going into that second and third corner. This is such a difficult corner. If you don't get the power down correct, you're just going to spin those wheels up. Not too sure if there was any contact there that allowed that. But Go of Anxiety is still ahead of New Squid in the 8th position. New Squid just can't keep it up, and the Ferrari of Einar going into the back and makes contact with New Squid, and Pina does get ahead as drivers lock up going into the Sector 3.
Sure, this is a result of drivers not used to having this level of assist turned off. It really affects you during a race. You can get at the start, you're okay, but as the race goes on, you kind of forget, and you can see that some drivers are starting to struggle. A Squid, he's gonna go on the inside of Penna here. He is indeed. That was a
gets the move done, but Einar also going to get the move done. So Einar looking to maximise his opportunities as well, and New Squid gone very wide there.
And Einar's got DRS, and he's got ERS, and he's going to...
I tell you what, Pina also come down on the outside with the DRS. So outside on this corner, has to be careful. And they do make contact, and that does cause New Squid to spin. So Pina just caught the outside of New Squid on that corner, touching wheel to wheel. Unfortunately,
Yari, Yari has lost it.
And
he hasn't hit the barrier, but he's off.
That's a big spin off from Yari.
He lost it, and it looked like he'd managed to correct it, and then he lost it almost immediately again. It was unbelievable.
Now Sylvanich and Harry Cully at each other, and Harry Cully will keep his 5th position. Get himself back up the table again. Go of Anxiety also looking to try and close this gap down to Sylvanich. And Einar also quite a strong competitor here and managed to get himself ahead of Pena, who's also trying to close the gap down. Will have DRS going round into Sector 3, so can he maximize this with 80% ERS? Taps are opened. DRS on the way. Here it comes. So, looking to try and close the gap. He's not going to be able to get a move done, but ANR managed.
Getting past Squid here. Excuse me. It's the second last corner. He's going to breeze past Squid. Oh, Squid is going to fight him, but Yari is going to get the inside line. And the job is done. Yari moves up into P11 after that spin. Didn't get any damage, so he just needs to focus, get his head down, try and get as many points as possible. That was a good move from him.
100%, 100%. Now looking for the next battle, we've got Sylvanich closing down this gap to Harry Cully. Now under a second on the time and decreasing. So definitely has the pace on go Harry Cully, who's on the hard tyres, over Sylvanich on the 8-lap mediums. So you can tell those medium compounds on the softer of the two compounds definitely has the upper advantage in the speed. However, 8 laps into those mediums will be starting to you will be starting to feel the traction just slip ever more.
The hard tires just start to become a lot better. You know, they'll start to react better. They're a lot nicer than they were when they first were put on. Meanwhile, as you say, the drivers on mediums will start to be struggling just a little bit.
Yeah, definitely with that no assist as well. Not allowing. I mean, I was going to say not allowing, but the tires allowing much more slip as well. And as the wear starts to creep in, Penna just creeping above the second, may not see the DRS. I'm not sure when he hit it. If he was under a second and he doesn't get the DRS.
Too late, mate's getting DRS on Vision here for P2 on the start-finish straight. As Too Late Mate does the fastest lap of the race as well to just show the amount of pace that he's finding in that car now.
I tell you what, Too Late Mate coming from 8th up to 3rd. Fantastic racing from him. As we have expected and experienced, Carcraft also getting some moves done on New Squid further down the table, looking to get himself back up the table. So we're looking on board Too Late Mate. We're going to stay on board with him for this lap. And see if he can get a move done. Because he's now went from 6/10 of a second back down to 4/10. And Penna off the table.
It's enjoy a little one. He's okay. Yeah, no damage. He stays in P11.
Thank you for that update, Rigby.
Oh, say the commentator's cursed because now Dark is spotted. But again, no damage.
And here comes Too Late Mate.
Yeah.
Down into second position. Sorry, up into the second position. MBD Vision looks like he let him pass.
Vision's gonna get the RS here, though. You know, this
you
might
can
be
see it.
because
ERS is open, and there's the DRS signal. He's now opening up. Is he going to jump down the inside or the outside? What way is he going to go? He's going to go outside. And as you say, Too Late Mate's AI, and it just allows him past. And Too Late Mate down the inside, and it goes side by side. There's a little bit of contact from Too Late Mate as well.
Vision went very wide there, and he just tried to make the corner, and I don't think he knew where Too Late Mate was, and that could have been nice. He just shut the door on the Renault there. Again,
Too Late Mate had the DRS again, and takes this first part wide, and then you can see they just cut it in ever so more.
Jedi. Yeah, he's now in P8. It's been a decent recovery since that spin.
And there's the 3-second penalty. That was such a harsh penalty, in my opinion. Just he ever so slightly just creeps to the white line.
Oh, going into the pits. No, he just put it right in the wall. Goodness me.
And does pick himself up a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane again with no brake assist. He's just going to lose that. And will he swap to the hards here? He does. Pit lane opened. The pit window opened, and he take advantage of that. So on the fresh hards, can he be looking for an undercut later on here? He might have just lost far too much time.
An interesting battle shirt is Harry Cully and Witchy for P4. Witchy on those mediums don't struggle. Harry's hards are starting to really benefit him, and Witchy's struggling to hold on to them to keep the climb behind him here. And I think it's going to be only a matter of time before Harry Cully gets past, and it might be here as they come onto this long shape, this long slingshot shape where DRS is applied.
And he's going down the inside.
He doesn't even need it. He doesn't even need it. P4 for Harry Cully.
Very easy move there from Harry Cully.
Meanwhile,
Witt.
up ahead, too late.
And Harry
Mate.
Cully just takes it wide, and Witt. Oh, he's trying to get the position back, but he just can't get the pace. Harry Cully still keeping the position, but goes wide again in the final corner. Witt just can't hold on, but does have the DRS going down into turn 1. Harry Cully sticking to the inside line. Witt and forces him to the outside, and a contact from Witt and Harry Cully as well. So Harry Cully's squirming about the track.
Touched.
Witt, Harry Cully managing to hold the racing line and forces Witt in behind him. So very nice racing from those two racers there.
Could have been nasty that though, sure. There was some contact there, and this game can be so unforgiving for the tiniest bit of contact when it's wheel-to-wheel racing.
You're so right, and we've both experienced that on many occasions. So very good jostling.
Vision desperate to break the toe of Too Late Mate there. Both on the same length of medium tyres.
Really does come down to these racers, and Too Late Mate opting to not use his ERS here and only use DRS to close this gap down. He knows he's not going to get a move done here, but he potentially can maximize his ERS for the DRS zone in Sector 1.
Well, that's the thing. You know, that is a brilliant place to overtake, but you've got a DRS zone like 2 corners later. I mean, probably not the best idea to take that, because you're just going to get retaken. As there's yellow flags in Sector 3, so...
Yep.
And is it the... Who was it? I can't see.
Looks like Salvanic.
Salvanic. There's a couple of positions
So
jumping into the pits.
Does have front wing damage from Savanic. So it does go into the pits, and will, I imagine, see himself quite a few position drops here. As the pit window opens again for those racers to be swapping onto the hard tyre between lap 13 and 17 for those who are on the medium tyres.
I would not be surprised now if after this stint people decide, no, mediums aren't cutting it, I need to go on the hards.
Yeah.
Because the hard tyres certainly seem for the level of race that we're doing today, it looks like it might be the way to go.
Especially for learning the wheel. 12 laps in these mediums, having not pitted on the safety car. Fantastic racing for him, but you can see that interval time.
Too late, mate, choosing his ERS on that straight. He runs past the Mercedes subvision. He's gaining. He's got the DRS. He's got the ERS.
He may not get the
move. Go to the
move.
inside. No, not quite. But he could set himself up really nicely though for this next DRS. So coming up in the next corner, putting up Vision under a lot of pressure.
And Vision's fantastic racing from him to be able to just keep ahead of Too Late Mate here. With Too Late Mate with so many
to keep behind, is it?
100%, and Too Late Mate with all of these advantages of ERS and DRS still can't get this move done. Vision's obviously maximizing his fuel type, maximizing ERS, managing to keep his speed up. Now, learning the wheel will, I imagine, pit on either lap 16 or 17. He's going to take the full pit window here and just try and maximize when Too Late Mate and Visions are going to do it, but he doesn't want to leave it too late. It's all about strategy and timing here for him, so that he can get himself back on track and keep himself at the top. Now, we do have a yellow flag in Sector 3, and it looks like it's from the McLaren of Noob Squid. Sliding off the track in the final corner, and those tires must be red hot from him.
Off as well.
The Packway not having a good time this
A
race.
couple of these F4 boys now just starting to struggle. They've a couple of spins now from them, and yeah, they are really struggling to keep the car on the track. But what Land the Wheel's done, sure, is yes, he's obviously going to lose the lead when he pits, but he's going to only come out probably about P4, P5, potentially. I'm not 100% sure how long a pit stop is around here.
But then there lies the question, is Harry Cully going to pit again?
Well, if I was him, I would be probably I'd probably say, no, you probably got to just sticking out. Maybe
Because
I'm
there's
not too
only
sure. Depends on how
there's
much of a gap he can build.
so he's got 14, and the gap is widening between him and Too Late Mate. You're talking 17 to 18
And
seconds
which
here of
he
a
has a
gap to
penalty
the
as well.
to the lead.
The penalty as well, sure. So he can basically not worry too much about the lad behind him.
Carcraft further down the field, picking himself up 3 seconds, and again on that final corner, that seems to be the notorious corner for picking up a penalty here. As Lunar Jedi takes it wide into the first turn, and so does Carcraft, and will see the grass, and that will allow him to spin, which again is just going to allow Pina to close the gap even more, as they're both on level lap tyres.
I'll tell you something, sure. This battle between Vision and Too Late Mate is fascinating. Vision is doing an incredible job at breaking the toe whenever they get to a straight or an opportunity for Too Late Mate to potentially close the gap.
I agree, and it's Vision you can see, and he's not even using his ERS here. He's still keeping the ERS to absolute minimum. And Too Late Mate, again, not using ERS, just using DRS to get the gap closed. And MBD Visions is just racing the perfect race right now. He really is. And their MBD Visions go for the pit. So there you go, learning. Yeah, learning the wheel. Perhaps left it a lap too late, and I did call it lap 17 would have been learning the wheel's pit time. He might even go longer. I don't think he should go longer though. I think now is the time. MBD Vision.
A lot of cars coming in. So is Witchy and the Goat of Anxiety.
And now because MBD Vision started in the soft, he's going for the medium. So very interesting strategy from these guys. They've obviously mastered the tyre wear for them. And Yari, here he comes now. Our Yari, 12 laps in though. So MBD Vision's going to have the pace and grip on these corners. But Yari, fantastic racing from him to get himself back up to 5th after such a shaky start. We've got Wit and Pina.
He hasn't pitted, but he needs to pit again. He'll need to pit again.
Yeah, Yari's definitely going to have to do it some pit in. Now he's got an 11-second gap and also a penalty as well. So, again, the middle of the table all to play for with these penalties.
A little battle at the back here is for P11 straight between Dark and Salvanich. Salvanich lagging absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, I noticed this earlier on. So Dark RT going to have to be careful.
It's so difficult when you got a lagging car because obviously you can decide to go to the inside, but then he'll lag in and he might even be there. Honestly, I feel for people who have to drive around laggy cars. I know some people can't help the connection, and I'm not trying to help them, but I'm just saying that it's very hard to race with cars who are lagging that much. Again,
Dark RT has to be thinking here, does he even make this move? He's on 15 lap old mediums, he's going to have to pit again. Does he even make this move?
Learning the wheel, not pitting again, shit.
Interesting strategy here, and that's Too Late Mate in the pits, coming out of the pits now, and on these mediums as well. And right in behind MBD Visions again.
Lunar Jedi went off in Sector 3, he's down to P11.
Yeah, and Dark RT now coming past. I tell you what, Rigby, the battle's back on between 4th and 3rd of MBD Visions and Too Late Mate. We've also got Yari in the pits, opting for the hards again. Interesting. Does he feel like...
Dark's gone wide there in the battle for 11th, and Lunar Jedi is going to get DRS. He'll use DRS and he's going to fly past him, and that is P11 for the Mercedes of Lunar Jedi. Although, ooh, he did go a little bit wide there, but it looks of things. But
Dark RT
okay.
just locking up. Dark RT locking up, going into that first corner. Couldn't keep himself composed enough. But as I mentioned earlier on, the battle for 3rd is returned as Too Late Mate and MBD Visions back on their fresh mediums. Fantastic pit stop from MBD Vision, timed it perfectly to get himself.
Learning the wheels in the pits.
So, here we go. On his way into the pits, not yet pit done. MBD Visions on the final corner. And learning the wheels going for the softs. With 10 laps!
To be quick.
But he's going to have to be careful at the end of this race. So where does he come out? Right behind!
He's behind them.
Not even losing time.
That shirt Vision's gonna get past Too Late Mate again, or is he? Oh no,
Too Late Mate, and shuts the door. He slams that door on Larry the wheel. Vision's not letting that position go, not letting the podium slip. The Harry Cully on the 14 lap old hard, but we're having an absolute nightmare race towards the end, going into the final. I would say 7 to 8 laps on those hard, but you can see Larry the wheel just has so much pace, traction, everything, and he's maximizing this as he closes the gap to MBD Visions in preparation for the DRS zone, closing right into the back markers. And I think we're going to see a new fastest lap here as he's purpled the sector 2 and 3. So I think we're going to see a new fast lap from the next lap from Learning the Wheel.
Learning the Wheel has got to get out in front of all these drivers as quick as possible, because his softs are going to die about another 6 or 7 laps time. And then he's really going to be showing for the final couple of laps. And
then Visions! And that's going to see his front wing off! And does get damaged, so that's MBD Vision's contention for the second place podium done.
His own fault, I think. I'd have to look back, so I don't know whether Too Late Mate just broke a bit early and Vision wasn't expecting. I'm not too sure, but it's gutting for the Mercedes driver. And Too Late Mate now can get, if he can get out ahead of Harry Cully and get a little bit of a gas line in the wheel, then I would not bank it against Too Late Mate to win this race now.
And Too Late Mate has closed this gap by almost 3 seconds to Harry Cully. Fantastic driving from this gentleman to get himself back to Harry Cully, and also learning the wheel on the soft tires as well. It's still all to play for in my eyes. But Too Late Mate is obviously going to have the advantage with the mediums as it comes towards the end. The Learning the Wheel's going to have to be careful with his tyre wear here, but if he does take too much care, he's just going to drop himself down in the time.
He's got enough of a gap to his teammate, he can go for this.
And this is going to be interesting. All of Too Late Mate and Learning the Wheel going to have DRS coming down into the straight. ERS.
I feel for Harry. Harry is so vulnerable right now.
And we're going to go broadcast view here to get a better picture, and is he going to keep the gap? He does. And Too Late Mate into the back.
In the back of him.
No damage to report, I don't think, from Too Late Mate. I think he's okay.
No, he's not.
And he's got damage. And again, into the pits for him. And it's all Learning the Wheel. Now,
two drivers in the top 3 should have fall in that corner. How many times have we seen qualified? That corner caught people out so much, having to brake. People forgetting how early you have to brake with the amount of assists that are off and how hard you have to brake in. It looks like Vision and potentially Too Late Mate have become victims of that scenario. And Learn the Wheel as well. If you get past Harry Cully, he's going to have enough laps on good soft tyres to put out a gap, and he'll probably win the race.
sorry to interrupt here, Rigby, but we do have some yellow flags getting waved about from Too Late Mate and behind Goat of Anxiety and Yari. We've also got McLaren off the track of, I believe, to be Noof Squid. It will be indeed.
Now, hasn't he?
And Too Late Mate on the softs, just maximising everything. Now trying to catch up to Yari with 0 penalties.
Learn the Wheel's going to take lead the race here. Harry, he's so close to Harry Cully.
And DRS. And here he comes.
He is going to need a
Harry Cully is trying so hard on the ERS to keep the gap. Is he going to go down the inside of a Renault, right, ghosting in them of the packway as well, and fantastic racing from these guys. Learning the Wheel does take the position quite comfortably. DRS opened up from Harry Cully, but I don't think it's going to be enough, as he is getting the gap. No, this corner is just so treacherous. You have to be slowing down so much coming into it, and Too Late Mate now has a 6-second gap to Carcraft. Carcraft 21 seconds to second. So Too Late Mate has a lot of work to do to get himself back up the table.
And he's got Yari chasing him down as well, but Too Late Mate is on fresh soft tyres. Should have the pace advantage, although Yari is not a slow driver. I would not want him behind me. And have we lost Stuart for a second, have we? So I will continue the commentary while TJ Stuart is not here. He's on board with the battle with Yari and Too Late Mate still, so I will just continue to commentate this battle. Of course, Too Late Mate on the soft sides, as we say. It'll be some effort to catch Carcraft now, so he's just battling to keep hold of that P4 position now. Unless Harry and Carcraft pit again, as there's yellow flags in Sector 3, it's a Renault, and I believe it is the Pacqui. As Harry comes onto the straight, he's lost a lot of ground there on Too Late Mate as expected, and he is now out of DRS range. So I'm going to jump onto the battle with Salvanich and Witchy. Unfortunately, you guys can't see it, but it's that same corner again as we were just watching, and Salvanich is in behind Witchy now. Witchy on newer, harder tyres, but hard tyres are different to other compounds. They need longer to fit in, and Salvanich is going to get past, and he will take P8 off the Alfa Romeo of Witchy. Learning Jedi was having a wee look as well to the inside of the Alpha driver there, but wasn't able to make the move happen. With just about 6 laps to go now left of this race, Learning the Wheel now pulled out a 2.5 second gap to Harry Colley, who also has a penalty. So Learning the Wheel just has to bring this car home at this rate. It's been a phenomenal effort from the driver, I've got to say. Fantastic stuff from Learning the Wheel. But Too Late Mate has caught up with Carcraft now. And on those soft tyres, Carcraft is going to be able to defend that. And Too Late Mate says thank you very much. He's on to the podium once again. And now he'll be hunting down Harry Colley for P2. Three drivers on particularly long length of hard tyres. That is Harry Colley. We've just watched Carcraft and Penna, who really are just trying to get this car to the end now. There's no point pitting unless you've got a big gap towards your between your competition. You just will not be able to make up the time. As we to brake very hard to avoid salvage. The 1 and 2, and I'm just trying to find out who it is. Is it Dark who's spun? It is Dark once again who has spun in Sector 1, I believe it is. But no safety car though. As Witchy, Salvage still like, and he's trying to get past, he's going into the inside, and side by side with Salvanich. But I think he's got the move done, and he is up the position. Meanwhile, Luna Jedi looking to get past the Red Bull driver as well. As Richie had a little moment there, a little bit of understeer. Oh, and Salvage does the exact same. Apologies, guys. This has turned into a little bit of a radio commentary, but I'll do my best to describe the action as best as possible. As Luna Jedi was still on the battle with him, between him and Salvanich. The gap is about 6/10 as they come around that long stadium section, right-hand corner stadium section, in fact, I'm not sure what it's called. And he'll get DRS on this long straight on Salvanich. But Salvador is going to instead go for a move on Witchy. He's going to try and retake that position, and he will do a very nice move indeed. Oh, and then the Witchy's trying to take money inside. They're side by side. They come round the final corner to take on lap 25. No one's damaged, and Salvador is back through. Although Witchy might be able to get him back here on turn 1. Oh no, he's going into the back of the Red Bull! And they both...
And MBD Visions!
Salvador just took out Vision! Although, well, Vision actually, I think, just went completely wide and ended up going into Salvador. And oh, what a disaster at the back of the grid! It's gone crazy!
What have I come back to?
He wasn't expecting him to slow down as much as he did, or brake there, and he's just gone right into the back. He was lagging everywhere, but that was a moment, it didn't look like he was lagging at all. And oh, that is gutting. That is gutting. Apologies while you're away, Stuart. I was trying my very, very best to do a little bit of radio commentary.
Hey.
Everyone else can let me know how I did, but good to have you back, bro.
No, I do apologise to everyone whilst I had to just duck away to do some stuff in the house. So, back to the race at hand.
On the back of Penna. And Penna on 20 old hard tyres is going to have very little to defend against the Mercedes. Where's he going? Inside, outside. He's going to go to the inside.
And Lunar doesn't even need any ERS there, but he does go right wide.
Penna gets him back, yep. Penna gets him back.
But he's got another DRS, and he's going to have to use his ERS, I think, this time, just to maximise. And yes, he does. He goes ERS, DRS. He's not going to get the move done before the turn 1, so he's going to have to wait again until sector 3. Unless Penna just goes a bit too wide and Lunar struggling for traction. Penna locking up.
I think Penna's okay. I think Penna's okay for now.
He's okay for now. So back up the grid, we've got Yari and Carcraft. Yari on the 7 laps holds and Carcraft on the 21 lap holds. But the gap I don't think was close enough for DRS. I could be wrong, and Yari picking up another 3-second penalty.
Interestingly, Leonard Wheels finally picked up a penalty, but he has a 5-second gap to Harry, who also has a penalty. So as long as he doesn't get another one, he should be fine. Interestingly, only 2 drivers still on track have not picked up penalties. That is Lunar Jedi and Dark RT21, so very good from them. And Lunar Jedi, he doesn't even need to wait for the DRS zone. He's getting past Penna. That is P7 for the Mercedes.
Yeah, looked to be a very easy overtake from Lunar Jedi. But does go wide again, Penna.
Although Penna had a little moment there though as well, and that meant he just couldn't quite get onto the power, didn't have the traction to get Lunar Jedi once again.
So great driving from both drivers. Nice and safe overtakes.
Yari on Carcraft, he had it very close now. I didn't know if Yari was really going to try and go to the outside, would have been a hell of a move.
And goes down the inside and now down the outside. Doesn't quite get it.
Traction. He's got the grip advantage by a mile over the racing point of Carcraft.
And is definitely going to have the DRS advantage here on the long straight. Carcraft has the advantage on ERS, but the DRS is going to eat him up.
That's it. As you say, Yari, he's using all the rest of his ERS to get this move done. He gets DRS as well.
I don't think it's going to be enough.
To break the toe. I think he is just. He's going to go to the inside. He's going to the no. Carcraft covered it off well, but that's going to really happen.
Yeah, and Yari gets the inside line.
The old flags in sector 2. Not sure that is. We're going to
New
stay on
squid.
this battle, though.
Okay, Yari, come on, DRS. It might be enough this time. Just might be enough this time. He's going for the outside and then cut down the inside. Fantastic move from Yari. But here comes Carcraft again. Oh, and closes the door on Carcraft from Yari. Fantastic move from him to take the outside line and then cut down the inside. Well thought out, and again, as you mentioned, it has the grip advantage on the newer hard tires, and they're going to be at a point where they're just enough aware that they're comfortable.
No, that was absolutely sensational move from Yari. But of course, the grip advantage definitely helps him, but not easy to do. He just did that. So fair play to Yari. But we're on lap 27. I'm sure just a lap and a bit to go.
Now, what do these penalties look like? The top 3 all in 3-second penalties, so that it looks pretty much set in stone. However, if Yari can just get the gap closed more, and it looks like he is starting to close this gap a little bit, but again, Too Late Mate just has the advantage on these corners, and that's where Too Late Mate is gaining this time back.
I tell you something, sure. You see if landing the wheel. I'm not sure how many warnings he's got, but see if he was getting another penalty.
That is Harry Cully's race.
Ridiculously close to Harry Cully, but I'm not sure how many warnings away he is from a penalty.
And we are on the last lap now, so it's all matters now. So unfortunately, Too Late Mate couldn't close the gap in time to Harry Cully, but it's still fantastic racing from him. Unfortunately, MBD Visions, with that earlier incident, is now down in 11th. So unfortunate for him. And I can't imagine he's very happy with how this race has played out for him.
If you're looking for a battle on track shirt, look at the Ghost of Anxiety and Carcraft. As Ghost of Anxiety goes to the corner a little bit there. There's a bit of time to Carcraft. Again, tyre advantage is clear to see.
Yeah, you can definitely see the tyre advantage and grip coming into play now, but it's all important.
10-second time penalty for the Packway. Bloody hell.
Wow. Oh, and Ghost of Anxiety locks up! That could have been huge if he had went into the back of Carcraft, but he still has the gap, so he's going to get DRS.
It still could be huge because that might have given Carcraft the slimmest of opportunities to hold on to this position now.
I don't know.
Is coming quick.
I don't know. He's coming quick. He's going to be ahead in the Carcraft's going to be ahead in the corner. And he does clip the apex. He doesn't go wide. He's going to hold the position, and they both have 6-second penalties, so they're both going to be on level. So it is Carcraft's position.
Fair play to Led the Wheel, who wins the race as well.
Fantastic racing from him, leading the entire race from the safety car. So very well done to him. Harry Cully getting himself into second. Too Late Mate in third. Yari into fourth.
What an effort from Yari.
Fantastic effort from Yari from the earlier incident at the start. And getting himself down towards the bottom of the table, and now back up to fourth with minor of the penalties at only 6 seconds.
Running the Wheel started this race in P15. Unbelievable, phenomenal job, fantastic.
Driver of the day without the shadow of a doubt.
Which he gets himself up from P14, finishes in P9, gets another couple of points as well. Fantastic drive from the F2 driver there as well. Vision, on the other hand, had the opposite. Obviously, that incident that we saw earlier on, he finishes in P11. Our pole sitter.
And MBD Visions just getting himself to the end of the race now.
What an eventful race, shirt.
What an eventful race, I agree. And there it is, I do agree, driver of the day, learning the wheel from P15 to pole position, and definitely took advantage of that safety car staying out on track with only on the 3-lap-old mediums, and a fantastic move from him. Coming out on the softs at the end, again, fantastic move and keeping himself up the table, so very well done to all these drivers and their pit strategies. Do
you know, sure, I give full credit to them, not just because they've won the race, but they shown what can happen if you take a risk and do something completely different to everyone else. He decided, no, I'm going to stay out, I'm going to keep the track position, I'm going to extend those mediums right to the end, and then I'm going to jump on softs towards it. I know I've got the pace, and it was a phenomenal job from them.
And it worked.
Fantastic, well deserved.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is your leaderboard for today. Learning to wheel in first, as previously mentioned. Fantastic race from him. Harry Cully and Too Late Mate in behind. Yari and Carcraft heading up 4th and 5th. 6th and 7th, Goat of Anxiety to Lunar Jedi. Penna and Whitjay coming in 8th and 9th. Sylvanich, NBD Visions in 10th and 11th. Anar, New Squid in 12th and 3rd. And Dark RT, Depakwe and Vico heading up the back of the track in 14th to 16th. So, very well done to all our drivers today. I've been Stuart, you've been Rigby. Thank you everyone for coming along today. Thank you Rigby for coming along today.
My pleasure, thank you for having me.
And we will see you all next Friday, 6 PM for race number 2. Goodbye.
Ta-da.